This is the 2025 Ford F-150 Lariat. Is it the ultimate full-size truck? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. I know it has been a really long time since we've featured any Ford products here on the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel, but I've made my way down to Jimmy Grange Ford in Stonewall, Louisiana. If you want to know more about this truck, check out the link down in the description of the video. Let's take a look at what we have, because there are some very impressive details to tell you about with this truck. Now, you will have your LED projector beam headlights, LED daytime running lights. We'll also have our fog lights down here on the lower portion of the bumper. Your front recovery hooks will be right there. And here is your forward-facing camera. Nice large Ford logo. In my opinion, I think there's a nice balance here with the exterior color and the chrome accents with the bumper, with the grille, also with your 20-inch wheels. This truck will be four-wheel drive. You're going to have a tire and wheel setup as far as the 20-inch wheels being surrounded by a width of 275 and a 60 series sidewall. Your F-150 Lariat logo will be right here. And quite a bit going on with our side view mirrors. We're going to have our LED lighting to help you out after dark right here. We're gonna have the cameras built in, as you can see down here on each mirror, one on each side. They're heated, they're power adjustable. You're gonna have your blind spot monitoring right there. And one more thing that I know is going to make a lot of people happy, and that is the fact that these are also power folding side view mirrors, very easy to deal with. Now, in the case of this truck, you're going to have the affixed in place assist steps to get in and out of the truck. I think that works just fine. You can see the Ford logo right there in the middle. And as far as our remote goes, let me pull that out and show you real quick what that looks like. Maybe not real quick, but there we go. In fact, we'll turn around and take advantage of the Louisiana sunshine. Lock, unlock. You're going to have your remote start right there. You can open and close your power tailgate with that button right there. And there is the panic button. Your FX4 off-road package will be here. And we're gonna have the cab light. I don't know how well that shows up in this bright sunshine, but it is turned on. I also have the in-bed lighting turned on. As far as the bed goes, the only thing missing here is going to be a bed liner. I think at the price point of this truck, that is something you should most certainly have. And we'll finish things off here with a nice, unique look. You're not going to be confused if you're a taillight enthusiast. Is there such a thing? Probably not, but it looks very unique. It looks very much like a Ford, as it should. So we're gonna have the taillights back here. Also, that's gonna be your backup light right there. Nice to see that on, because we don't normally get to show that in these videos. Under the hood is the naturally aspirated 5-liter V8. 400 horsepower and 410 pounds-feet of torque. All of that will be mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. How about your MPGs? Here's what our window sticker tells us. 16 city, 24 highway, 19 combined, and 5.3 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. And something I like to do that you're not going to see or hear about in all of these car review videos, vehicle review videos on YouTube, is give the gas tank details. Now, I want you to keep something in mind here. This is a full-size truck. My daily driver is a 2024 GMC Sierra HD 2500. It has a 36-gallon fuel tank. You also have a 36-gallon fuel tank here with this truck. Now, that's pretty impressive to me for a full-size truck, but what's even more impressive, how far can you drive on a single tank of gas? Well, this is at least the potential. 576 miles in the city. And you better make sure you're sitting down for this next number, because on the highway, you have the potential of 864 miles. And on the heels of those impressive numbers from the gas tank and how far you can drive on a single tank of gas, let's talk about towing and payload. We're going to have a max towing capacity of 13,500 pounds, and your max payload is 2,225 pounds. And you can see that the tailgate comes down automatically. All I did was push the button on the tailgate. And the good thing I like here is I can also push the button on the remote twice, and it's going to go back up. That is not something you can do with the GMCs or the Chevrolets. You do have power down, but you do not have power up with the Multi-Pro tailgate that is available on those trucks. And instead of the Multi-Pro tailgate, here we have the Pro Access tailgate. And I have to say, even being a GMC owner, I think I like this tailgate a little bit more. Now, you've already seen that it will open in the conventional manner. Now, you can open that right down here. There's a button you can use on the tailgate itself if you want to, but we'll close that back up because to the left of that is the button that really makes the difference, and that's going to be right here. Now, this is not power. You will have to manually do this, but you have a few different ways you can open this, and it kind of locks into place so that it won't close on you. But I like that because with the Multi-Pro tailgate, it'd be about right here if you left the top section down, and it would allow it to be a little bit easier, we'll say about right there, to gain access to the interior of the bed. But however, you can go a whole lot further here with this F-150. That is really cool. You're going to have some storage space right there. I like the capabilities of what that's going to offer you. And you will also find your 120 volt power outlet here in the bed of the truck, multiple tie down points, a lot going on here. The only thing missing is I do personally believe that this truck should come standard with a bed liner. And that's not all we have to talk about here. This is one of the greatest multi-use tailgates, I would say, in the industry, if not maybe the best. And so here's what you can do. Check out this area right here. Maybe you've seen this before, maybe you haven't, but you can stick your phone right there. You can even put a tablet or something larger in the front, but it's kind of cool that you can keep that right there. I could almost film a YouTube video like that if I wanted to. I'm not going to do that, but I could. If I need to measure something, well, I have the potential to do that. You could put a drink right here if you wanted to. Quite a bit going on here. I think this could be maybe the ultimate multi-use tailgate in the industry. The exterior color is iconic silver. The interior is black active X, and there is a ton of space. Plenty of room with the armrest to begin. As you can see, I always like when they're nice and flat like this. We're going to have a cup holder right here, and the upper door bin and the lower door bin, even another bottle holder, cup holder right there. And tons of room here. But something else that I like that is a little bit different compared to a GMC or a Chevrolet truck, when you raise the seat cushions up, you'll find everything here you need for storing things. You've got the tools for changing a tire over there on the other side. But this area doesn't come quite as far forward as it does, and so it leaves more floor space. Let's say you need to haul something back here and you need that extra space and you just want it sitting flat on the floor. Well, there's more floor to work with. Obviously, you can put both cushions up. In my opinion, that is a win-win situation. Very nice, very easy to deal with. Tons of room back here for your rear seat passengers. We'll hop on inside. There are the rear seat pockets, nothing out of the ordinary, but there are plenty of cup holders back here too. Cup holders on the rear of the center console. You have a couple of USB options right there. You'll also have the air conditioning vents. That's nice to have. Another 120 volt power outlet is going to be found here. And something else. This is something I like a lot. If you watch me regularly, you already know what I'm going to say about this, but I think this is how a fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in should be designed. And why do I mean that? What do I mean by that? Well, instead of having the cup holders that are parallel to each other right here, they're vertical. That means if there's a cup in one or both, your rear seat passenger sitting in the outboard seats can still use the armrest without any extra space being taken up right there. Now, this truck does not have a sunroof in it. For those of you that say, you know what, Tom, I'd love to buy a 25 F-150 Lariat, but I don't want a sunroof. So here is proof that you don't have to have that sunroof if it's something you don't want. I also like the fact that you have grab handles at all four doors. Let's talk about what your front passenger is going to find. Once again, tons of room with the armrest, the upper door bin, and the much larger than what we saw with the rear lower door bin. Plenty of room there. And something that I know a lot of people ask about power seats, you have lumbar support here on the passenger side. That's this control right here. And you can raise and lower the height of the seat. All the other functionality is here too. A little bit of space here on the side of the center console. We have the lower glove box right here, and we can push this button and open the upper glove box. While I'm here on this side, it's probably easier to do this from this side than it is from the driver's seat, but nothing out of the ordinary here. We have our 120 volt power outlet. You can see right there that it says AC 120 volts. Something you will not find in the current generation of the GMC Sierras or the Chevrolet Silverados. If you need a 12 volt power outlet, you might have to go F-150 because you have one right here. And I always like to ask what people think. Let's take a look at the animated graphics that come up on the screen here on the driver's display. Tell me what you think about this. When you start the truck, here's what's going to happen. You'll have everything come up. Again, more animation, and then your gauges, and all of that information is presented to you. And when you shut the truck off, you'll see the rear of the truck with the animated taillights. Just something that I find to be very interesting, noteworthy. It's something you're paying for, so I might as well tell you about it. And how about that all-important question of what is the sticker price? Let's take a look at the upper console just to show you what's there, because I know a lot of you want to know, so we're going to give you a quick look at that. One thing I am very happy to see that's here is a sunglass holder. Some vehicles in this day and age, believe it or not, are not coming with sunglass holders at all. Now, you can see what you have here as far as your controls go on your doors with your locks. All that good stuff is going to be here. Controls for your side view mirrors right there. You can manage your lighting right here. You can see some of the other functionality that is there. If you're looking for the auto stop start feature to turn that off, maybe you want to turn it on, there's where you do that. You know when it's off because it says it, as you can see. This is a tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. The release to do that is on the bottom of the steering column over here on the left-hand side. I'll drop that down where you can see it, try and give you a little bit better view of that for those who may want to know. And I think this is one of the nicest, most modern-looking driver's displays, instrument clusters, whatever you want to call that, in the industry. And we can use our steering wheel mounted controls over here on the right-hand side if we want to go in and make any changes, determine what we do and don't see. You can see quite a bit going on here. This truck has a lot of great features. We can also hit that button right there that says menu, and then we can scroll through and take advantage of a lot of information. I'm not going to go through everything in great detail here, but I'll tell you what, I really like what Ford has done here. Very nice and very easy to use, that's for sure. So you have driver assistance right there if you want your calm view. There's your calm view. Does that calm anybody down? Maybe it does. I don't know. But one way or another, it's not difficult to use what you have here. It might seem that way, but don't let that fool you. We can go down here and change the look of our gauges as well. We can do quite a few things. You can see what's going on there with the different options as far as that goes. I'm going to go back in there real quick. Here we go with some of the other information you might want to know. So I know a lot of people like to know things such as your engine coolant temperature and so forth. There is all of that. So very nice, very simple to use. I like that. A little bit of space right here, right above our infotainment screen, which again, a nice modern look, very easy to use. I think it works quite well. And we're going to have our built-in navigation, as you can see right here. You can pair your phone wirelessly. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. In fact, we'll go into our apps, and you can see Apple CarPlay is right there. We're going to go back here, and Android Auto right there. And guess what? YouTube is here. If you want to have your passengers watching and you as the driver can listen to a Vehicle Visionary video when you're out on the road, well, you can do that. Isn't that nice to know? We can go right there and take a look at that. We've got settings as far as that goes. There's a lot to do here, a lot to talk about. I'm not going to cover every single little thing, but here's what we're going to do. We've got our software updates there. As you can see, vehicle hotspot connectivity. You even have your valet mode. You have your 911 assist if you need that. Hopefully you never do, but if you do, there it is. and you can see what we have. We can go and change things with the display. And again, you can have that calm screen. Is it an ASMR screen? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's a better name for it. No, I'm just kidding. How about your general settings? Let's go in and take a look at a few things right here. You can see what you have. There's a lot going on here that we could talk about, but I don't want to make this video too long. Try and give you a good idea of what is going on, just some of the highlights, some of that information that I know a lot of you are here for. Now, I'm going to go right here to features. If you want to turn your zone lighting on, here's how you do that. I showed you some of that zone lighting earlier with the mirrors, other areas like that. We can have all zones turned on depending on what we want to do, or you can select what is on and what is not. That's really nice, really convenient. The hunt and peck method will serve you very well here. You almost don't need me to tell you about all of this. Everything is going to be here for towing. If you need that, let's get back to that screen. I accidentally hit the button right there. But I wanted to go over a couple of very important things here that will help you out. First of all, here we go with our driver assistance features. People ask about this, so I like to cover it. You're going to have everything for auto hold if you want to turn that on and off. You have your speed limit assist, you got cruise control above that, lane keeping assist system or lane keeping system, pre-collision assist, exit warning, and some of these you can see, you can turn them on and off, switch them on and off, as you can see. That makes things very simple. We're also going to have our blind spot information system that we saw built into those side view mirrors earlier in the video, trailer side view, park aid sensors, cross traffic alert, reverse brake assist, and driver alert. And we'll go back here. We're going to go right back here and take a look at something else that we have that I know a lot of you are wondering about. Maybe you don't know about the owner's manual. The cool thing here, if that will load for me, is what you can do right here on the screen. Now you can see what all is here, but this is what I really wanted to focus on. So depending on what you want to know about, let's just go up here to exterior, and you can actually listen to the videos. I don't know if they'll play for me. Let's see if we can get one to play and get the audio to work for us. Hit that play right there. Here we go.
I just washed my windows. Why are my wipers wiping again? The wipers on your vehicle have an interesting feature that...
Now, I'm not going to go into that in great depth, but I just wanted to show you what was here where that is concerned, because I think that is a really nice feature that maybe more vehicles should have in this day and age. Tell me what you think about that, or do you just like the good old-fashioned put it in your hands and turn the pages owner's manual? I can live with that myself. We have our overhead 360-degree view, and depending on where we want to see, we can zoom in and see any area that we might need to look at a little bit more closely. As you can see, that is so simple to do. I like that. Something else that I think Ford does very well as far as that goes, you also have some additional views. I showed you earlier that you have that front view camera if you want to use that. Depending on where you need to see and what you need to see, there is something literally everywhere, depending on what you have going on with the truck. And down here we have everything here where we can go back to our cameras if we need to by simply pushing a button. There's your front view camera. Told you that was there. I showed you that earlier in the video, and you can see some of the other controls here. I think you know what everything is here. Obviously volume, you can turn the radio on and off and determine what you're listening to right there. Your dual zone climate control is going to be here. You have your heated steering wheel. We don't need that today in Northwest Louisiana, nor do we need our heated seats, but we could use the ventilated seats, and there's 3 stages of each. And this compartment right here is going to have your USB ports right there if you need those. Nice to be able to take advantage of that. If you want to conceal your shifter away, well, you can do that with that button right there. Cup holders and a giant center console. The lid doubles as an armrest, and then when we push the button to take a look inside, boy, is there tons of space in there. You can take that tray out right there. You can even store your change right here if you want to. Tell you what, there is a lot going on within the interior of this truck. Okay, here we go with our test drive with the F-150. And depending on what you want, this 5-liter is not the only engine available under the hood, but let's listen. Hopefully you can get a little bit of an earful of the exhaust note right there. It does sound good. The ride quality for a truck, I'd say, is pretty good. Kind of hard to tell sometimes when you don't have multiple road surfaces to drive on, but this does have a few different options as we drive over the bridge, when we get back onto the smoother pavement. But this truck definitely gets down the road with absolutely no problems whatsoever. Plenty of get up and go. If you need to tow, you've got the power to do that and the torque. If you need to haul something heavy in the bed, obviously that is going to be just as equally capable. When it comes to a full-size truck, overall, I like the adjustability of the driver's seat and the steering wheel. That means anybody of just about any height, we'll say normal height. If you're maybe 6'7" or 6'8", well, I don't know about that, but 6'2", 6'3", or maybe around 5 feet tall, you will be able to set everything just right, where you can see great, where you're comfortable, no problems whatsoever. This truck is very enjoyable to drive overall in basically every sense of the word. Very capable in a multitude of ways. One thing that is definitely true here as well is the fact that you have some very easy to learn and use controls. Now we're gonna make our turn right here. Step on it one more time, let you hear it a little bit, not too much, not go too crazy, but a little bit. It's a brand new truck, it's not broken in. I'm not gonna drop it to the floor. That was about quarter throttle right there. The other thing that is so nice here, and I showed you some of the functionality as far as your technology goes, is that it's very easy to learn and very easy to use. I know there's still a few people out there that are saying, Tom, I've had my F-150 since 1990, but I have no choice. It's time to trade up. It's time to get something new, whatever the situation is. It may not be a 1990 model, but just as an example. But one way or another, you might say, I'm not so sure about all that technology. I'm really nervous about trying to learn that. Well, there's a couple of things to consider here. Number one, it's not difficult to learn. I feel like if I can learn it, anybody else can learn it. Well, I've had to do that over the years as it's evolved. I think anybody else can do that. But if you're having any trouble as far as that goes, guess what? You're already in the perfect place to solve that problem right here on YouTube with all of the tutorials that you can find. If there's a particular tutorial you need, tell me down in the comments section. Maybe it's something you can't find and I can make that for you. I don't mind doing that. You just have to let me know what it is you want. And you have a very easy to manage gas and brake pedal. That goes without saying. A very well-rounded truck, I would say. Tell me what may not be here. It's something you would like to have in your next full-size truck. And there it is, the 2025 Ford F-150 Lariat. Is it the ultimate full-size truck? Tell me what you think down in the comments section. I'm always curious to receive your feedback. I would like to say a special thanks to my friends here at Jimmy Grange Ford in Stonewall, Louisiana for loaning me this truck for the day so I could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That's very helpful to me. And if you would, please share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. Subscribe to the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel so you don't miss any future videos. We would love to see you again in the future. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you might wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.